Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold,
Oh,
whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not.
Hello, Prince George and Kamloops and Winnipeg and viewers on Rogers Television. That's the Comedeorological Report. Hello, listeners on Spotify, Apple, and all those podcasting platforms you might be listening to us on. Hello to you on Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube live stream right now as well. Well, right on. I am Joey Only, the Caribou Weather Dude. This is the show, Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada and beyond. Sucks in, North America. Sucks actually on planet Earth mostly. Weather sucks in, most of the galaxy, most of the known universe, the weather does suck. So just, that's part of being a living organic being in this nasty universe, is having to put up with the horrific conditions, and just for that hope that one day things were nice, and the nice weather will come again, but not this weekend. No, it's miserable coming to BC, miserable cold coming to Western Canada, miserable. You're listening to us on CKUW 95.9 FM, and Winnipeg, you're listening to us on C4 88.7 FM, CFBX 92.5 in Prince George and Kamloops. And I think they've covered everything. Okay, we got coming up in just a minute's time, Frankie McDonald, the man himself, the world's greatest weatherman out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, with 300,000 subscribers in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and hopefully someday he's prime minister. That would be my choice. And we have a panel of comedy meteorologists with us, comedeorologists, including meteorologist Mark Ingalls. We don't seem to have Brandon Houck tonight. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but maybe he's got hockey or things going on. Sometimes Brandon is busy, but we do have meteorologist Mark Ingalls to fill in his shoes for his secondary time slot. Of course, we got my friend Hilding Donaldson in Grassy Plains, British Columbia, and not too far from me, just as the way the crow goes, is Karen Richards in Prince George. I'm in Wells, BC, which is 3,935 feet above sea level. That's right. I am one of the highest people in all BC right now, except for those who are in an aircraft or something like that, or on top of a mountain. Yes, and then we have Mike McGregor from the Weather Center, Manitoba, and you never know who else from our panel might show up throughout the show. I think that's all I've got to say to get things rolling tonight. Frankie, how bad is it everywhere? How bad is the weather, Frankie?
Really bad. Even Japan's getting snow squalls in northwestern. They're in Japan and snow squalls. In Western Japan, they're getting snow squalls. In Sapporo, Japan's really cold weather, even in. And in Tokyo, Japan, it's getting cold weather as well. It's so cold in Siberia, Mongolia, and all those places right now.
Oh, my God, Japan.
Oh, my God, in Japan.
Frankie!
Can you yodel for us?
Frankie!
Who has the worst weather in the world, Frankie?
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
What else, Frankie? Who's got the worst weather in the whole world? Is it Japan?
The possible cyclones headed towards places like in off the coast of Madagascar, Africa. There's lots of rain and thunderstorms next week going on in the weather all across North America. And heaviest snow is going to bypass Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday. Sydney, Nova Scotia is originally going to get heavy snow on Friday night, but it moved southward. They're getting lots of snow in Hampshire and Vermont and all across New York State inland. Then it's going to bring lots of snow in Vancouver, British Columbia on Sunday as well. And really cold weather in Arctic flow. That's going to drop the cold air to Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, in parts of lots of cold weather in Northern California. In Southern California, lots of fires going on there right now. Then it got some colder weather heading towards Northern Ontario next week as well. Going to bring some little bit of snow and rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday as well. It's going to bring really cold temperatures up in Kapuskasing, Ontario, Hearst, Ontario, all those places. Really cold temperatures in North Dakota, South Dakota, including parts of Nebraska and all those places, and Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, in Southern Ontario, Montana, and Idaho, Washington State, in Seattle, even the west coast of Washington and west coast of British Columbia. It's really cold weather, and Calgary's getting really cold weather as well, with some snow, flurries, and forecasts in Calgary. They're getting bitterly cold in Calgary. this weekend coming up after Chinook winds. And Florida's getting a heat wave again after Florida's getting really hot weather after the snow in northern Florida. And heat wave return to Florida once again. Texas is going to get really, really hot again after the snowstorm that hit earlier in January. Brought lots of snow in Dallas and bringing hot temperatures in. Texas once again, New Mexico, Arizona, where Gary and Dino was at. And all across California is going to be warm as well. And weather all across Central America. Lots of rain, thunderstorms going on in Panama right now. Mexico, it's really hot in Guatemala with rain in forecast. Rain chances, showers and thunderstorms, including Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador. Nigeria, with really hot temperatures and humid temperatures. And weather all across South America is lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Venezuela, Colombia, parts of Peru, parts of Ecuador, parts of Bolivia as well. Amazon rainforest, a lot of rain and thunderstorms going on right now, including Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Northern Chile is really dry right now. In southern Chile, lots of rain. In the coast areas of southern Chile, lots of thunder, lots of rain, and they got snow up in the mountains in Chile. It's really dry in Argentina right now, but a little bit of showers. They got lots of rain in Ushuaia, Argentina as well. It's southern hemisphere summer right now, weather all across Europe. They get some warm temperatures heading towards England. Then they get rain in the forecast as well. Then they get the pockets of cold air heading towards Spain, Portugal, even Morocco. Spain had snow as well. Brought lots of snow in Spain. Then they get really cold air in Norway, Finland, Sweden, France, and Germany. Denmark, Netherlands, and Poland, and all those places, and Belarus, and Latvia, and Estonia, and Finland, Sweden as well. Moscow, Russia's going to get really cold temperatures next week.
Good.
Rain coming off the coast of Tokyo. But they got really cold temperatures in Tokyo, Japan, Kyoto, Japan, Osaka, Japan, Sendai, Japan, with rain and snow in the forecast. In South Korea, it's really cold in South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia, and northeastern China. In Beijing, China, it's really, really cold right now in Mongolia. It's Siberia with a lot of... They got snow in Siberia right now. Like, up heading towards, like, Baikal, Russia. And all those places right now. And it's warm outside in Hong Kong as well. Then they got some showers in forecast next week in Hong Kong. In Indonesia, there's a lot of rain, thunderstorms going on in forecast. So it's Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. Up around Vietnam is a little bit of showers in forecast. Thailand, Cambodia, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, and all those places. In far northern Malaysia, it's really dry right now. And so it's Thailand right now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in. Lots of showers going on in Sri Lanka right now. India is really dry, so is Pakistan. Afghanistan's getting really cold weather up in the mountains as well, so is Iran, Iraq, and Syria, and all those places. It's really hot in southern Saudi Arabia. Then it got a little bit of cooler temperatures in northern Syria and northern Saudi Arabia and all those places. In northern Africa, lots of cold weather in northern Algeria right now. Then it got cold weather in northern Algeria. And it's really hot in Ethiopia right now. Nigeria, Ghana, but they're in a dry season right now. Ethiopia is in a dry season as of right now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast in parts of Mozambique, Madagascar, and Tanzania, and Angola, southern Congo, and all those places. It's lots of rain and thunderstorms in the forecast. And lots of rain and thunderstorms in La Rio and the Rentis Islands because they're in the rainy season right now. And weather all across Australia. There's a cyclone forming northwest of Australia. It's really dry in Perth, Australia right now. Central Australia right now. A lot of rain and thunderstorms in northern Australia. Then you get some showers and thunderstorms from the forecast in eastern Australia, but drier. As right now, they usually get severe weather in southern hemisphere spring. Down New Zealand, weather in New Zealand right now is a lot of rain and thunderstorms in Vanuatu, New Caledonia, French Polynesia, Fiji Islands right now. It's a lot of rain and thunderstorms going on right now, as it's going to be drier in North Island, New Zealand, South Island, New Zealand, warm air, cold air fighting each other. As well, it's summertime in New Zealand. Their fall doesn't start till March 20th.
Yeah, Frankie with the World Weather Report. That's
And
great,
the
Frankie.
sun has risen in Bear, Alaska, and sun has risen up above the Arctic Circle. They're gaining day in a few minutes of daylight up above the Arctic Circle as well.
It looks like we're gonna have a really, really cold weekend soon for us here in this part of BC, Frankie.
Yes, I
Like
did a forecast for Vancouver Island and Vancouver, British Columbia. Uploaded two of them to my YouTube channel. Did a Moscow forecast. Did a forest fire season forecast.
well, when it's -1 in Vancouver on Sunday at 4 a.m., it's going to be -26 in Williams Lake, 25 in Quesnel, 25 in Prince George, 27 in Burns Lake, Hilding, even for you, -30 in Fort St. John, -34 in Fort Ware. Going to be really cold, Frankie, in BC. Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to it.
And did you hear about this? I just did a video about the new asteroid 2024.
Yeah, and we're gonna watch that tonight, Frankie, because I'm really concerned about this asteroid. Like, is it gonna hit us, or is it gonna bypass the Earth altogether?
Just wait to the video.
We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to wait until the video tonight, people, to find out if the asteroid's going to hit us or if it's gonna bypass us altogether. So before you make your plans anywhere, this could be your life-saving moment. This could be when you find out that if the asteroid's coming. So that coming tonight. Asteroid news. Does anybody on the panel have a question for Frankie McDonald about anything other than the asteroid? Because that'll be in the video later on the episode. Meteorologist Mark Engels has a question for you, Frankie.
Yes.
Frankie, did you cause the asteroid?
No, I didn't. The asteroid's far away up in outer space right now.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because I didn't hear you say that you didn't cause it at all. So we just figured we'd clear this up on the show. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Frankie didn't cause the asteroid. I have a second question for you, actually. Do you think we should keep doing the time switch to daylight saving time?
Yes, because the days get longer in March.
Okay, there you go. When Frankie becomes prime minister, everyone's on daylight saving time.
And that means Australia has daylight savings time like Australia has. They're in the daylight savings time right now. I'll be supreme leader of the world.
Well, I think we should enact a new system where we just pick a time and stick with it. Like it says 11. It says 11:20.
Their daylight savings time begins in last weekend in March. And Egypt has theirs around the day after my birthday.
So, for example, it says on Frankie's clock behind him 11:28, which it's not right now. It's actually 7 o'clock, 7:13 my time.
Because it's 11:13 p.m. in my time. That's 7:13 p.m. Joey Only's time. And guess
on the 30th.
And guess what? I got something to say. First weekend in April, daylight savings time ends in Australia, New Zealand, and Chile.
So it's the 30th of January, and it's 7:13 my time right now. But you can see on Frankie's clock right now, it says 11:29. So what I'm suggesting we do is
that means I don't want to be late for things.
Yeah, that's however you. My mom did the same thing. She always set her clock fast. But what I'm saying is we just pick a time. And for now on, we're like, okay, that's the time. What time is it?
We already do that. We just use UTC. Just start doing everything UTC. Yeah,
no. That's not what I mean. I mean, for now on, the time is 11:29.
Oh, always 11:29.
Yeah, just that's the time for now on.
Well, broken clocks work. Broken clocks right twice a day.
Then no one will ever argue about like what time is it. It's like I'll see you at 11:29 tomorrow. Okay.
Frankie, what's your favorite coffee to have? Do you drink coffee?
Regular coffee. I drank regular coffee 2 decades ago. I drank green tea, white tea, red tea.
Do you like sugar in your coffee, Frankie?
Yes.
Or do you like
green tea, white tea, red tea?
Do you like cream in your coffee?
No, not at all. I just have green tea, white tea, and red tea.
Don't drink coffee whatsoever. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I have no preference for how I like my coffee. People are like, how do you like your coffee? I'm like, make me a coffee. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. It's like, how much sugar you want? Like, I don't care. I just want the caffeine and want it hot. Is it hot? That's the kind of coffee I want. People are like, do you want a cold coffee? I'm like, no, not at all, not whatsoever. Any other questions for Frankie here in the panel? What about out there in the group chat? Any questions for Frankie out there? I don't see any off the bat, but people are saying, I agree, it's scrap daylight savings time. It'll happen soon. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Okay. Well, if we have no other questions for Frankie,
Oh, Frankie, are you doing anything fun for Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day. That means I'll be on Jason Marshall We Don't Have Cookies podcast on Groundhog Day on February 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Atlantic. That'll be 10 a.m. Pacific.
what do you think the groundhog's going to say? Did you hear that PETA wants to give a new? They want to have a reveal cake instead of a groundhog because they say groundhogs are cruel. They want to have a reveal cake where it's like if it's a pink cake, it means this much, this many weeks of winter. If it's a blue cake, it means that many winter. But they want it to be a vegan cake. So it's like, how to like frame a unpopular idea. Like, let's get away with giveaway. Let's get rid of Punxsutawney Phil and replace him with a vegan cake. No, I don't know. Nice try.
Just got the fat check for pushing that.
My name Mark Ingalls.
Pushing that agenda. It says here, HARP, climate change, whatever, in my bank account.
Gonna be so stinking cold here, Mark, and you even got a little bit of snow coming to you down there in the coastal areas of BC. Looking like some snowfall warnings for Squamish Highway between up there to Whistler. Looking like some snow coming to BC before, and it's gonna usher in the cold. It's got this nasty way of turning that just wants to suck, and it feeds off the cold and sucks it down, and it brings it right here to me, and I don't like it. Mark Ingalls.
I gotta start off by saying we've been playing that intro for like 5 weeks now, and it's still just so funny to me. It's like I struggle to start my segment every week now because you did so good with that.
Well, actually, I got the timing wrong. I realized after because, it should say when you go, my name is, like here.
Just got the fat check for pushing that.
My name Mark Ingalls.
Pushing that agenda. It says here,
my name Mark Ingalls. That's what I missed. That's what it should have said.
Well, there's always next year.
Total fail. Okay, what do you got?
Joey, do you know what's special about tonight's show?
It's your 1-year anniversary.
1 year. 1 year that I've been given my time for free to tell all the Canadians about the weather.
Welcome to the One Timers Club.
Still can't believe that I live up here now, man. So here in Surrey, British Columbia, there was some snow up at Simon Fraser University. For those who don't know, that's kind of up on a hill. So it wasn't snowing at my house or at my office or anything, but it was snowing at SFU, and it's sticking on the ground briefly. I didn't look too closely into it, but yeah, it's gonna get cold. We've got some. We had a disruption in the polar vortex. We talked about that a little bit over the last couple of weeks. That has allowed very cold air to move from the Russian Far East into Alaska, then Yukon, and now it's coming down to park right on top of Joey only for the next possibly 2 weeks. Get ready for that, Joey. Down here, of course, I'm not at 3,900 and something feet. I am at I don't know, 150 feet. I am on top of the hill. I think we are going to get some snow out of it. I have seen some weather model outputs that are saying 10 centimeters of snow. And I want to caution everyone in the Lower Mainland and Vancouver Island. If you see somebody posting a picture of a weather model that says you're going to get 10 centimeters of snow, 20 centimeters of snow, 5 centimeters of snow, well, look, not all that snow is going to stick to the ground. We're going to start off as rain. I think it's going to rain tonight. It rained earlier today. It's going to take time, and we're going to cool down pretty slowly. But I think our best chance of seeing snow in the Lower Mainland is probably Sunday into Monday. We could get a couple of shots. We could get a couple of shots of possible snow later on next week too. But as always, these are always marginal events. It could just be cold rain and 1 degree C, or it could be -2 and we get 30 centimeters of snow. Like there's just no good way to tell. This
Well,
is the
emergency
worst kind of
preparedness.
forecasting.
Emergency preparedness. They have like this really simple scale model for determining how prepared they should be, how much catastrophe they should, account for, right? For
That
given the
means
scenarios.
freezing
Still,
rain means temperatures above freezing up in the air. It's below freezing near the ground.
so you know what the calculation, Frankie, for Vancouver is? For every centimeter of snow, you can expect 50,000 people to die.
That's why I did a weather forecast for Vancouver on my YouTube channel.
So, if it's 10 centimeters of snow, look out. 500,000, it'll be mass hysteria.
We
Cats.
with all this cold that's going to park right on top of Joey only. I think we're going to get the Fraser outflow cranking. So cold air is denser than warm air, um, and so it creates high pressure up Williams Lake, Quesnel, and whatever, and that all surges down the Fraser Canyon into the lower mainland and then out the the Juan de Fuca Strait.
HRDPS
Um,
does show me getting some inversions here, so I might not be nearly as cold as Karen.
that's probably well, yeah, that's pretty common, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. And those
Even though
inversions
most of
are
the
what
year it's
drive
colder.
it.
Even though most of the year here it's colder here when you get these big Arctic outflows and you can see it, of course, like you were saying in the group chat, and I was talking about in my weather video this week, that when you look at ECMWF model, it just shows us kind of like massive cold. Whereas if you look at but the short range models, it's only for like the next 3 days, but they're much more defined, and you see like, oh look, you can tell the terrain has different temperature variance to different elevations. So there is some of that that I've seen so far indicated. I think we're going to see some of that. For how long, I don't know. How long it sticks around for, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
skeptical.
there's not really a clear view, really. Like it could be 2 weeks, but it could just be like through Thursday or something. We don't
I
really
haven't
have a clear view yet.
I haven't seen any modeling that is consistent past the middle of next week. It's like if I take 5 different models and look at them, and then a day later or 12 hours later look at them again, it's like they aren't consistent with what they told me last, let alone what each other are telling me.
Well, and this is the
You know
case
what
for
I mean?
most of North America right now. Actually, Y- just today, when I was at work, I forecast for energy stuff in the northeastern US. So think like Chicago to DC to New York City. And today, every morning I look at the average temperature. We call it population weighted. So like it biases towards the big cities. Um, and temperature is the largest driver behind how much electricity people are using. So this is a very important metric. And this morning, I forget what day of the week it was, maybe like next Thursday or something. The weather models over the entire footprint that I cover, which is like a sixth of the United States, had risen by 12 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about like 6 degrees C, maybe 5 degrees C. Um, in day to day, like the modeling is so unclear. I think it's pretty clear for places like, Kansas City or Washington, D.C. or San Francisco. But what we have is we have an amplified jet stream pattern with in the east, upper level high in Cuba and upper level low in over Baffin Island. That's what it is. Um, and so that squeezes the jet stream, makes it faster, and you shift it north or south by 100 kilometers, and in places like Chicago on the edge, that's a 5 to 10 degree difference. Um, so I think like Montreal is going to be cold. I think Toronto is going to be cold. I think Frankie is going to be cold. Um, but then you get further south to Detroit and New York City and
And then
Boston, and
later
that's
on, they're predicting Los Angeles might get cold too.
yeah. We may get some of this cold into Los Angeles if it slides far enough south. Those cities like Chicago to Boston. Um, are in that zone where, like I was saying with the snow here, it could be cold rain or it could be 30 centimeters of snow. Well, there it could be, cold, or it could actually be well above average. And then you get south of that line, and DC, St. Louis, Kansas City, San Francisco are all staying pretty warm. San Francisco may get in on the cold a little bit, but that's a different story. Over here, like, yeah, and then what we've got is we've got these Alberta Clippers that are going to come. They're going to tap into the cold that's parked on Joey and Karen and Hilding. They're going to tap into that cold, move it east for a couple of days. Like Tuesday, Wednesday next week looks pretty cold for Ontario and Quebec. But it's not going to be lasting like we saw over the last couple of days. It does. I do think we favor keeping the cold in the BC interior for the next week or two. I don't know that it stays extremely cold, but like I just had my own forecast, like my forecast here in Surrey up. And all the weather nerds, will have to forgive me for using my Apple Weather app, but like I spend 10 hours forecasting at work all day for a sixth of the United States, so I'm not necessarily looking to do it for 10 more hours for my house. Right, you gotta pick your battles. And I have on the Apple Weather app, I've got 4 days with snowflakes, and like they all seem reasonable. I might have 4 days of snow in the next 10 days here, and it gives the coldest low as being -11. Like, that's not what I moved here for. I moved here to live in the only part of Canada where it doesn't snow. I want rain. We can take cold rain. That's fine. I'd prefer it to be 12 degrees plus 12 degrees, but 4 and rain's better than -6 and snow. And my parkade I'm in a like mixed use development here, and our parkade is under the building. And to get out of the parkade, you have to go up this steep hill that has a 45-degree turn, like 3/4 of the way up. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that my Kia Niro is a gutless wonder, but I just don't think I can do that in a front wheel drive semi-compact hybrid.
The car isn't a gutless wonder, but maybe you are.
Yeah, no, I know my limits.
Hey, here's the special guest, Gerald Frog. How are you doing? I'm doing great so far. What are you doing, Fergie? I'm doing great. I'm doing really well. Things are going great. I'm Gerald Frog. See you soon. Bye for now.
Hey, Gerald the Frog, where you come from?
I came from Bonaventure, Quebec as well.
Oh, yeah, right on. Right on,
Gerald the Frog, what's your favorite color?
Light green.
Light green? Well, that makes sense seeing as you're light green.
I was originally in Monica's host of Bonaventure, Quebec.
Yeah, tell Monica we say hi there. And hey, Gerald, another question for you. Is it easy being green?
Here's the special guest, Fred the Bear.
Oh,
Hey,
Fred.
How you doing? I'm doing great so far. Fred, I was in Bonaventure, Quebec in October 2021 until summer 2022. I was in Montreal, Quebec, and I was in Calgary, Alberta, and I was in Fort McMurray, Alberta. Hey, Fred, what are you doing? I'm doing great so far. I visit Bonaventure, Quebec. I visit Monica. I'm Fred the Bear. And I have returned to Sydney in early September 2022. Hey, Fred, what are you doing?
Man,
things are going great so far. Things are going really well. See you soon. Bye for now.
I can barely believe that we got Frank the Bear on here.
No, it's Fred,
Fred
the Bear.
Yeah. Fred the Bear.
I'm doing great so far. I also went to December 2021. Hey, no, what are you doing? I visited Monica. I went to Montreal. I went to Calgary, then eventually Fort McMurray. Hey, no, what are you doing? I came back home to Sydney in September 2022. Hey, no, what are you doing? I'm doing great these days. Here's how I'm now.
Oh, right on, no.
Here's a special guest, Dr.
Oh,
Hi, Frankie. How you doing? I'm doing great so far. I was originally in Bonaventure, Quebec, and I came to Sydney, Nova Scotia back in 2023.
Frankie, we didn't hear that one's name.
Dr.
You didn't tell us that one's name. Dr. Octopus, okay.
I'm Dr. Octopus. I used to be in Bonaventure, Quebec. I came to Sydney, Nova Scotia back in 2023. Hey, Dr. Octopus, what are you doing? I'm doing great. I've been to Montreal, I've been to Calgary, and I've been to Fort McMurray, Alberta. Hey,
Frankie,
Dr.
one time Frankie, one time I was out at the tide pools at Port Renfrew in BC, and I saw an octopus in the tide pools, and then a bear came and ate it.
And I'm Dr. Bruce. Things are great so far. Fred the Bear's been to Bonaventure, Quebec from October 2021 until September 2022. See you soon. Bye for now. Dr. Octopus is originally in Bonaventure, Quebec, but he's in Sydney.
Hey, it's me, Frankie McDonald. It's me, Frankie McDonald. How's it going, everybody? Be
Frankie
prepared.
McDonald live from Wells, BC.
I'm finally on my world tour across Wells, BC. I'm doing great so far. I got more videos coming up later tonight. Frankie McDonald. How are you doing, Frankie McDonald? It's me, Frankie McDonald.
Things are great so far. Fred the Bear's been to Bonaventure, Quebec a few years ago.
Yeah, so there you go. Frankie McDonald talking to Frankie McDonald on the show. Things like you've never seen before. There's so many. You never get enough Frankie McDonald. That's what I say. That's what I say. My camera's gonna be blurry for the next while. While we do, we might as well say hi to you, Karen, because you're unmuted.
Hey, Joey, look who I found at the Cougars game. Wanted to say hi.
Hi, Joey. I actually have a booth here. Check it out.
Check it out, Joey.
I have the artwork over here, and my CDs over here. My friend Julie's helping me, and we're auctioning off a jersey. I know you already have one. You don't need one, but yeah. So, hi. Hope you're doing well over in Wells. Thanks for all the weather reports.
Karen Richards, how you doing there in Prince George? What are you going to do for the cold? How do you prepare for the cold? What about your pipes? Can you survive the pipes?
Tomorrow night, I shall turn on my water, make sure everything's running. I have extra electric heaters to compensate for my crappy trailer heater. So yeah, I'll be good. Everything's gonna be good. I'm gonna have to pay extra hydro, but it's okay. I'll stay warm. Pipes
Do you have
will
a
stay frozen.
Do you have a big crawl space under you?
Oh yeah, it's huge.
That's too bad.
The one thing that always freezes up for me, Mark, up here is my toilet in my ensuite.
No.
Always, every freaking year, toilet in the ensuite. I go to flush it. Yeah, she don't go. So I have to pour water in every year. It's inevitable. So I will guarantee you so it's supposed to get cold tomorrow night, Saturday, Sunday, it'll be frozen solid. Done.
I got this 12,000 square foot building, right? But my bathroom is like right in the middle of it literally is the safest place in the house if there was a tornado. I mean, there's these old fir beams that make this old. It used to be the lumber depot for Caribou Courts, this building, right?
Hey, Joey.
Mark.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention. If you are going to happen to be in Portland, Oregon, actually Vancouver, Washington, on May 6th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, I will be giving a talk in the Kiggins Theater there in downtown Vancouver, Washington.
Well, what's Vancouver doing in Washington?
Well, they will tell you all day that they're the original Vancouver. But really, they're just a suburb of Portland.
I also saw that Ontario is in California, like in Los Angeles now. So,
the
Americans are taking us over.
You should look up Ontario, Oregon sometime if you want to see a real dumpy sort of town. Ontario, Oregon.
Trenton is in New Jersey now.
Yeah. So I'll be giving a talk there, 7 o'clock, May 6th. About bomb cyclones and renewable energy and how all this plays into like how difficult it is to forecast the weather in the Pacific Northwest, including BC. So obviously we don't have, we got like 40 people in the live stream or something, and I doubt any of them are in the Portland metro. But if you happen to find yourself in Portland, May 6th, 7 p.m., it looks like tickets are $20. I'm pretty excited for this. This is the first I've spoken in professional settings before, and obviously I communicate a lot at work, but this is the first kind of like public facing speaking engagement I've ever done. So I'm pretty excited for it. And I'm excited to let you guys know how it goes. Anyway, have a good night.
Yeah, Mark, have a good night. Get some sleep and good luck on your. Have a good morning shift there tomorrow morning. I got Hilding and Mike here to go to.
Calves will never be delicate and friendly, even though you.
Hilding Donaldson, what are you going to do?
Here comes the snow.
Here comes the
At
snow,
least we
bro.
hope it does.
What kind of things?
Past couple days, it's been just really interesting. It keeps acting like it's going to snow and then it keeps blowing over. So, like yesterday, it looked like it was going to snow in the morning and then it blew over. This morning, it looked really nice and sunshiny and then it kind of clouded in. There's a bit of a front line this afternoon, but now it's just sitting here. It feels like snow, but it's like, I don't know. It was -10 on Monday. And then since then, it's warmed back up to like +1, -1 every day. And I keep looking at when you're looking at your weather charts, and I notice that the little swirls in the weather always leave a blank spot right where I'm right down Grassy Plains. Like you can see that circle in BC between the lakes there. And like Prince George is going to get this cold spell, and I think we're going to be on the edge of it. I'm not positive, but looks that way to me. So I'm
I don't
hoping
think you're
we
going
at
to get
least get
that
some
lucky.
snow out of it.
I don't think you're going to get that lucky. The cold you will most certainly get. What kind of things do country folk and ranch hands and cowboys and things do to prepare for a cold like this?
Well, we have to be ready with alternative ways to get the animals something moisture of some sort. Like make sure that there's enough snow in the pens. Make sure there's enough that if there's water running, that it stays running. That's a real important thing. And of course, last week when I got that load of wood in here, that of course slid into the loaner car and caused a, a stupid event. At least I have wood now to burn when it gets cold. So I feel like I'm pretty prepared.
What's all of our Canadian cities doing already in America? They're already taking us over, aren't they? I seen that. It's in Trenton, New Jersey. What's it doing there? Oh no. What's Ontario doing in California? It's happening already. They're taking us over. They got Vancouver and Oregon now too. And in Washington, I mean, it's out of control. Already. Mike is just about back there, and he's there in Winnipeg, Alabama. Oh no, what's Winnipeg doing in Alabama?
Winnipeg, Alabama. That's funny.
Great
way to start off the show, Joey.
They're taking us over.
It's been an interesting couple of days here in Winnipeg. Last week we were talking about extreme cold. This week we did a flip. An hour in, -5. Today was about -3 for our daytime high. Really unusually warm. I saw Justin and I had a little discussion. There's a winter storm coming in for this weekend, so this already have happened by the time you guys come in for the show next week on Monday. If you're listening, I guess on Monday radio. Concerns me is the number of warm-ups we've had the last 3 months. The other day, I think we broke a temperature record. We got it to +2. There is going to be a storm system coming in this weekend. Just pulling in the information here. Looks like we're going to be getting about upwards of about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow in the western parts of Manitoba by, looks like snow will begin to arrive in the southwestern section of the province on 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday evening. Areas like Reston, Verdon, Elkhorn, Birtle, St. Lazare, Russell, and Roblin. Snow will arrive in areas of Winnipeg, the Red River Valley by Saturday morning around the 4 to 6 a.m. period. And snow will generally end across southern Manitoba by the Saturday night. Heaviest snow of the system will be confined to areas from north of Dauphin toward Mafeking and Dawson Bay, then points east to Easterville and Grand Rapids. So areas north of Dauphin, 10 centimeters, and areas by Grand Rapids, 15-25. And Winnipeg will likely receive 5 to 10 centimeters. And actually, I'm a bit surprised that we're this far into February and we still only have about 25 centimeters of snow on the ground here in the city. I was out with my parents in St. James, and they still have about 5 or 10. They still have about 5 or 10 more centimeters than we do in the north part of Winnipeg where I live. And I see our temperatures next week getting into the minus teens. It's kind of unusual how we're flip-flopping. I saw a little video on I think it was on Instagram. Someone posted a video of their basement parking lot, their apartment, how they have parking lots underground. Water was rushing into his parkade, and that's something you don't normally see happening in the winter months. So climate is shifting at the same time. I'm seeing it as fun. I'm seeing it as interesting because last week it was so cold. There was street lights flickering on when I think Isabel Street, like they're flashing, flickering, even some of the traffic lights. So yeah, it's never a dull moment in Winnipeg. I think next week we're gonna be in the minus teens. They're gonna flip back into that cold, below average temps for a while. But we're in the prairies. We're flip-flopping with these Pacific systems coming in with warm air, and we're getting blasted with cold air that you guys are bringing south. So I'll take it as winter, but that's part about being in the Weather Comedy Report is you get to learn these funny stories and bring them up to the show. So
Hey, it's me, Frankie McDonald. I'm doing
Yes,
great
and
so
where's the
far.
Frankie videos?
It's me. I'm Frankie. I'm doing great so far. The asteroid 2024 YR4 is going to hit the Earth and kill everybody and destroy the Earth altogether.
Frankie videos coming up.
Frankie videos are coming up, including predictions on the asteroid from Frankie.
Yes.
Is everyone
I'm looking
ready?
forward to this, Frankie.
You're going to have to
Pumped
wait
up
to
for
find out
Frankie.
if we all die this year from this asteroid or whenever it's coming. Maybe we deserve it, Frankie. Maybe it should just happen.
Hi,
Hey,
Frankie.
hey, Imogen, we're about to watch Frankie videos.
Fantastic.
Okay, we'll talk to you in a second.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live. It's in Nova Scotia. Major snowstorm is headed towards Nova Scotia on Wednesday, January 29, 2025. It's going to bring 10 to 20 centimeters or so in Nova Scotia, especially in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and Sydney and surrounding areas. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be pretty strong. It's going to cause blowing, drifting, so reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions, and streets, roads, highways, and Trans-Canada Highway will be snow covered. There'll be a lot of snow that could cause really dangerous driving conditions in Nova Scotia, especially in Halifax, Sydney, Bedekin, Shantycamp, and Yarmouth, and all those places, including Greenwood, Kentville, Wolfville, Lunenburg, Shelburne, and the surrounding areas as well. Bridgewater, New Glasgow, Truro, and Anchorage, the surrounding areas as well. People in Nova Scotia, be prepared. Have your winter boots, winter jackets, hats, and gloves, scarf, and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy games for Pepsi, buy games for Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till the last minute. Do it right now. Make sure if your smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets, search every 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE and ready as well. With a driving car, take your time, driving car slowly down so don't get in car accidents. We go for a walk. Be very careful walking as you don't slip and fall. Make sure your furnace and heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep you warm as well. Make sure your shovel, snow scoop, snow blower, snow plow, salt trucks ready as well. If you have anybody living in Nova Scotia, be prepared for major snowstorm on Wednesday, January 29, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a major snowstorm. Stay warm and be safe. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Snowstorm is headed towards Vancouver, British Columbia on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. It's going to start off as rain. It's going to change over to snow. Since the cold dark air is headed towards Vancouver, British Columbia, it's also going to hit Burnaby, British Columbia, New Westminster, British Columbia, North Vancouver, West Vancouver, Surrey, British Columbia, White Walk, British Columbia, Langley, Coquitlam, Port Coquitlam, and the surrounding areas. It's going to bring really cold temperatures. The streets will be really dangerous driving conditions, especially on Trans-Canada Highway. And it's going to bring really dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. It's going to turn really cold after February 1st, and Vancouver and its surrounding areas. The temperature is going to be really cold next week in Greater Vancouver and surrounding areas as well. I hope people in Vancouver to be really, really careful driving a car for people living in Vancouver, British Columbia, and its surrounding areas as well, because it's going to bring lots of snow in Vancouver and surrounding areas as well. Be extra cautious when you're driving a car, since roads can get really slippery in Vancouver and its surrounding areas as well. Make sure to have your salt ready. Put the salt on the road for people living in Vancouver, and have your shovel, snow scoop, snowblower, snow plows as well. Because the temperature is going to turn really cold in Vancouver starting on February 1st, 2025 for people living in Vancouver, British Columbia, and its surrounding areas as well. In Surrey, British Columbia, Delta, and Richmond, and all those surrounding areas as well, including Point Roberts, Washington, the United States of America. Have your furnaces, heat pumps ready. Turn on your furnaces and heat pumps to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep you warm as well. If everybody live in Vancouver, British Columbia, be prepared for a snowstorm on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a snowstorm. Stay warm and dry and be safe. This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Cold and snowy weather is headed towards Vancouver Island on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. The temperature is going to turn really cold in Vancouver Island, especially in Victoria, British Columbia, Sauk, British Columbia, Colwood, British Columbia, Port Renfrew, British Columbia, Saanich, British Columbia. It's going to bring really cold temperatures and snowy weather in Duncan, British Columbia, Ladysmith, British Columbia, including Nanaimo, British Columbia, Port Alberni, British Columbia, Tofino, British Columbia, including Parksville, Quemacon Beach, and Nanaimo, including Courtney, Comox, Camp River, Port McNeil, Port Hardy, British Columbia. It's going to bring really cold temperatures with snow in the forecast. It's going to turn really cold next week in Vancouver Island. I urge everyone in Vancouver Island to be extra prepared. Have your salt ready and put the salt on the road for people living in Vancouver Island, especially in Victoria, British Columbia, and its surrounding areas as well, since it's going to turn really cold in Vancouver Island starting on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. It's going to bring really cold temperatures in Vancouver Island, including Victoria, British Columbia, and the surrounding areas as well. I want every single person in Vancouver Island to be extra prepared, dressed really warm, have your heat pumps and furnaces ready to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea to keep you warm. Have your extra blankets ready to keep you warm as well. If everybody live in Vancouver Island, be prepared for it. Arctic outflow with snow and cold and forecast on February the 1st, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get too cold, stay warm, be safe. This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Here is my summer 2025 forecast for interior British Columbia. It's going to bring a whole lot of wildfires in interior British Columbia in summer 2025, especially in July and August. It's going to bring a lot of wildfires going on in Kamloops and Kelowna, out in the forest areas, including Wells, British Columbia, where Joe Yonley is, and Prince George, British Columbia, Fort St. John in, Fort Nelson in, Dawson Creek. It's going to bring a lot of fires in interior British Columbia. Be extra prepared. Have your helicopters ready. Have your firefighters ready to fight the fires, to put out the fires in interior British Columbia, especially in Wells, British Columbia, Prince George, British Columbia, Kamloops, Revelstoke, Kelowna, Salmon Arm, and the surrounding areas, including 100 Mile House and Cash Creek and surrounding areas. It's going to bring a whole lot of wildfires, including outside of Quesnel, British Columbia. Be extra prepared, because the wildfire is going to be really bad in British Columbia in summer 2025, especially starting in June. It's going to bring a whole lot of wildfires in summer 2025. Be extra prepared. Be mentally prepared for people living in interior British Columbia. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a lot of wildfires. Stay safe. Evacuate the area if you see wildfires. Evacuate the area immediately and be safe.
Here we go.
This is Frankie McDowell, my own TV station live from Sydney, Nova Scotia. The asteroid 2024 YR4 is headed towards the Earth on December 22nd, 2032. It's going to bypass the Earth altogether. That's going to trigger a lot of earthquakes. Even an asteroid bypasses the Earth, it's going to cause a lot of earthquakes, and the asteroid is going to hit towards the Earth. It's going to bypass the Earth on December 22nd, 2032. It's a asteroid. Make sure if your binoculars and telescopes ready if it's a clear sky that night, because the asteroid 2032 on December 22nd. The name of the asteroid 2024 YR4. It's headed towards the Earth. It's way out in outer space right now. That asteroid's way out in outer space right now. Because the asteroid's headed towards the Earth. It's going to bypass the Earth altogether. On December 22nd, 2032. Take care, stay safe, and be safe. If it's a clear skies that night, have your binoculars and telescopes ready to look up the asteroid up in the sky, be safe. I got the final video for Moscow, Russia.
Oh, I don't know. Do we have time for that? Where is that one? Oh, you just
final
sent it to me?
video.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a few minutes to set that up there, Frankie. In the meantime, Imogen, will you put the salt on the road this weekend?
No, I'm not going to salt the roads. I'll leave that up to someone else. I refuse to salt the roads.
For my Moscow, Russia forecast, and there's only 1 minute long. It's only 1 minute.
I'm getting there, Frankie. It takes me a minute to set it up.
I absolutely love Frankie's focus on all the municipalities on the island. Like, he broke this area down into territories. Frankie is an absolute unit of weather forecasting. It's delightful.
And the good news, in case you were, I was worried about it, but on December 22nd, 2032, the asteroid will bypass us altogether.
This is a concern if we're looking, that many years in the future. If we're looking 7 years in the future for things to be afraid of and worried about, and things to extra salt on the road to cause an extra skid in case that thing hits, then excellent. 7 years away, we'll be extra careful about the asteroid that'll miss us.
Well, we'll see if there even is a humanity 7 years from now, or at least a democracy or whatever. Okay, I got Frankie's video ready to go here.
Excellent. Roll, Frankie.
Full screen. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live for Sydney, Nova Scotia. Snowstorm is headed towards Moscow, Russia on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. It's going to bring lots of snow, and the weather's going to start off rain. It's going to change over to snow after around February 1st. It's going to bring really cold temperatures and snowy conditions in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas. I want everyone in Moscow to be prepared, because it's going to bring a whole lot of snow in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas as well. The weather's going to start off as warm. It's going to turn really cold in Moscow, Russia on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. I want everyone in Moscow to be really, really, really careful when you drive the car. Be mighty careful when you drive the car in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas as well. Have your extra blankets ready, and have your everything ready. Have your furnaces and heat pumps ready to keep you warm in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas as well. It's going to bring really cold temperatures in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas as well. It's going to bring really cold temperatures after February 1st. Next week, it's going to be extremely cold in Moscow, Russia, and the surrounding areas as well. If everybody living in Moscow, Russia, be prepared for it. Snowstorm on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. Take care, stay safe. Don't get too cold, stay warm, be safe.
And there is Frankie's video of the week. Videos of the week. Frankie's running for prime minister, and he intends
the supreme leader of the universe.
Supreme leader of the universe will be Frankie, and he will do things like name Lake Superior Lake Canada. So that's coming. And make Canada cool.
Then it'll be Frankie Canyon up in Mars.
In his new campaign, make Canada cool, kinda.
Then I'll name the Frankie Canyon up in planet Mars.
Frankie Canyon and planet Mars. And Frankie, I was looking at a map right now, and I saw in Oklahoma.
Then it'll be Lake Sydney up in Saturn's moon Titan.
Right now in Oklahoma, Frankie, there's the Canadian River is in Oklahoma. What are they doing with our river? They've already started taking over our country.
How did they get a river?
I don't know.
Who was keeping guard for Oklahoma? Who was asleep at the wheel when Oklahoma snuck in and stole a river?
Well, they don't have very many rivers there, so they had to come steal one of ours, I suppose.
How do you prosecute that? What do you do? With our judicial system, I think that we just let them have it. I think that's kind of the boy. That's embarrassing.
We just say vague things about tariffs or something, you took our river, so we'll make you maybe pay more for oil.
And also
the oil that we don't produce. The oil that we don't produce, that we did produce but then stopped because hippies got upset that we were doing it. So now we buy it from someone who does massive way more environmental destruction. We buy it from someone who's way worse and way dirtier in their production because we don't want to do it ourselves.
Well, unfortunately, it's not true. Alberta is like the dirtiest oil production on earth. It's not even a question. It's so the tar sands are so bad. It's
That
so
means
bad.
that means that
Nobody
Russia
wants
can-
our oil.
That means that our country, Russia, can get the oil from Alberta.
Yeah, if the Americans don't want our oil, we are in economic trouble.
They have to get the Russia, and they have to get the Russia to buy Canadian oil from Alberta.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. The Russians have more oil than Alberta does. Mike,
Now,
what do
I
you
do-
got?
I-
Do you have oil?
I do have a question for Frankie. I do have a question for Frankie that does touch on one of his videos here. So while Frankie was doing his predictions and forecasting for Siberia, how much salt did they need to put on the roads to clear the roads in Siberia when they have year-round ice storms?
They put so much salt on the road, the salt wouldn't even work at minus 50 degrees Celsius in Yakutsk.
In Yakutsk?
Yeah.
They don't have enough salt in the world? The salt plains don't have enough salt to clear the roads in Yakutsk?
They have special kind of things to clear. They have some kind of special things when they melt the snow on the roads in Yakutsk in wintertime.
Put the asteroid on the road. Mike,
They
what do
have
you
some
got?
kind of material besides the salt can work on extreme cold weather in Yakutsk. Once again, in the March, Yakutsk will gradually warm up.
Did you
That's
know?
weird.
I think we can credit their wolves with that. Siberian timber wolves are legendary for their aggression. So by hooking up some ice plows behind them, they've got icebreakers right there. Those wolves will just clear a whole city in like an hour.
Did you know that they use beet juice to basically reduce the risk of ice buildup on the roads? And then they also use like sand. Apparently, beet juice is also really helpful at reducing ice buildup or reducing accidents on roads. And question, Frankie, did America steal Winnipeg's name for Alabama? There's a Winnipeg, Mississippi, I think, somewhere.
Oh, Winnipeg,
United
Mississippi.
States.
They stole. There you go. The other side effect of beach on
They
the
got
road.
Athens in Ontario.
That's true, eh? We start taking over Greece. The other really fortunate byproduct of having beet juice in the road is that
They
when
got
you're
London, Ontario. They got Paris, Ontario.
it's true. When you're handcuffed and you're face down the road and their knees in the back of your head and you're like, ugh, and you're like, man, this road's not so bad. It's not. That's the good thing about having some beet juice in the road. Frankie, how do people find you on the wide world of the web?
If you want to find me on social media, my blue sky is at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie MacDonald. My threads is at Frankie MacD94. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD94. My TikTok is FrankDonald94. My Clapper is FrankDonald94. My Twitch is FrankDonald94. My Snapchat is Frankie MEC Doing. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Donald. Here's the Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
That's Frankie. I'm Joey Olney, Caribbean Weather Dude up here in Wells, BC. You've been listening to us, and we got Imogen the Alien. She's the co-producer here, showing up a little late for the episode, but glad she's here. Departed early was meteorologist Mark. Glad to have him here, but he's gone now, so we can't say goodbye to him, but he's already dead. We have my friend Hilding. Oh, also gone is Karen Richardson. She was here earlier. Hilding Donaldson, he's still here. Mike McGregor's still here. I'm still here. Frankie's still here. Imogen's still here. We're all still here. Thank you for still being here there if you're on the live chat. Hit like, share, subscribe, all that. Tell a friend. Come back again for the Comedeorological Report because we're your show about how much the weather sucks, man. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the show, though, Frankie.
That's the show.
That's the show, at least. The live stream can continue, but that's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show. What do you think? That's the show!
I'll say hi, Joey Onley. Say hi, Joey Onley. Say hi, Joey Onley. I'm Frank Donald. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. It's on Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. And I got a lot of fans in Wells, British Columbia, and interior British Columbia, Vancouver, Victoria. And Joey Onley's very nice guy. He's on a radio stations like CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince Georgia, CKUW 95.9 FM, and CFBX 92.5 FM. And Caleb's on Rogers TV in Northern Interior British Columbia and Vancouver Island.